Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And you, Niall, might have the first stab at this question I have. What do you feel is the biggest health issues facing men today? I mean, you've touched on the fact that, there's so much misinformation out there. And, I was talking about this with a doctor last night, that there's so much about aging and getting older that we think is normal now. We think it's normal to have a gut and maybe some man boobs and, all these things like snoring. It's all part of this kind of maleness now in a lot of ways and normality. Yeah. So what do you feel about that? And what do you see are the biggest health issues that men are facing today?
Well, funnily enough, the answer is in the question in your description, because, I mean, diabetes is going through the roof, obesity is going through the roof, low muscle retention is going up. People are walking around with pot bellies, with high blood pressure, and it is actually the normalization of all of those problems that is the biggest thing facing men today. Because if you tell a friend or another man, or if he looks at his peers and sees that they are all going downhill as well, they think that that's a normal and typical human life, where of course it's not. This is not how people aged 40 or 50 years ago. It is how people age now because of the obesogenic, carcinogenic, ridiculous environment that we are subjected to. And so the main problem is the normalization, because most men you can't see beyond your peer group and other people your age. So how can you think that that's not how life should be? I really think that's the biggest problem. People don't know they have a problem because of the normalization of obesity, of diabetes, of poor health, of lack of fitness, of man boobs. That wasn't even a thing 20 years ago. Moobs hadn't been invented yet. There was only one fat bloke on every football team, and he played right back. That was it. But now almost everybody's overweight. Almost everybody in a marathon, half of the people are overweight. It's not because they're not fit. It's because they're overweight, and it's normal to be overweight. So first answer, normalization. It's a serious problem.
Do you want to add to that, Laban?
Yeah, my thoughts on this are a little bit different to, I think, what most people might think. But in addition to what Niall's already said, I feel like the modern man today is losing his right to be masculine. And what I mean by that is we are under, as males, under a lot of pressure from the movement at the moment. And it's really easy to sort of slink back into the shadows and not take ownership for a lot of the challenges that arise in our life. And I think for society to function effectively, we need our men to be healthy, fit, strong, and courageous, and to lead by example and to show our next generation that this is how we need to do things. And I think we're losing that. And a lot of that ties into diet and the fact that natural testosterone levels are being totally depleted. And I know that Andre will have some comments on this as well. What do you reckon, Andre?
Yeah, sorry, unmute. Look, both of you are right on Bahar, and in fact, I would say that men need to be men and not be scared of being men. Men need to actually, I met with a client this morning, and he said something to me that was like, I feel like I never get time to think about myself. I'm always doing everything for everyone else, big job, earning the money so the kids and wife can have everything, a nice house and blah, blah, blah. But I never get time to think about myself. And in fact, that's the same with women. Women do everything for everyone else, but we're talking today about men. So I would say men need to be able to have time to be away with their mates, not drinking and going on drinking weekends, but having time to be with their mates, whether it's a steak once a week or once a month, bond with men that are good men, and have time with their sons, with other men. But I think the biggest health issues are the things that Niall raised. But I think one of the reasons for those things is this terrible culture we have in Australia about alcohol and the social pressures and the marketing and the advertising around alcohol, because when men drink alcohol, they damage their liver. They build this normality in society that their kids see about men drinking, which I believe is totally bad and totally wrong, because we know that more alcohol breeds, in some cases, domestic violence and men treating women not maybe in the best way that they should be. But at the heart of it is alcohol is poison. And when most men, as Niall said, are already overweight and have man boobs, alcohol is just making that worse. So all the things Niall said, 100%, totally agree with Laban. But alcohol is one of the key things, I think, that drives those metabolic health disorders. And, you know, what can we do about it? Well, I think women need to help their men in a kind way. Ask them some questions without nagging them, without telling them what to do. So, ladies, here's an example.